Good afternoon, everybody. We want to thank you for coming out this evening and attending the community meeting for the proposed rezoning request that has been submitted. We thank y'all for taking time out of your busy schedule to come by tonight this meeting. I'm the planning director for the town of Nashville, Sean Lucas. Also with us, we have our staff, Ms. Thomasine Jones, who's our planning code enforcement officer. Now, we will turn it over to the presenter this evening, Mr. Kevin Parnell from Stocks Engineering, and he's here to answer questions and give his take on this proposed rezoning request. Mr. Parnell, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Again, Kevin Varnell with Stocks Engineering, located here in Nashville, North Carolina. I'm going to go through a few of just the basics of the plan that we have in front of you and the property itself, and then ultimately I'll open it up to some questions and comments kind of as we get done. So the property is located at the intersection of Brake Street and 58 with an address of 802 South First Street. It's currently split zone with B1 at the front where the existing store is, and then R10 to the properties to the rear. And we are requesting a rezoning to B1 conditional use. And B1 conditional use is a commercial zoning that allows us to only do what the plan actually shows. So ultimately, if it was approved and it goes forward through council, we can only develop as the plan is shown. We can't change it. We can't decide we're going to do something different later. It's going to be just for the use in which we have proposed. The plan proposes to tear down and rebuild the existing store located on the property with a new building, new parking lot, new landscaping, etc. The proposed entrance and traffic generated from the proposed development will be reviewed by DOT and permitted as well. And any traffic concerns or improvements to the existing roadway will be directed and determined by DOT. And DOT has currently reviewed this plan. They like it a lot better than the existing traffic configuration that we have. And ultimately, they would approve and go forward with this plan. The building design, which is at the top left corner, and I know it's small, I'll give you guys a chance to kind of come look at it. It provides a fresh new building while keeping the character of the existing neighborhood. We believe this store as proposed is similar to what a store would have looked like if it was built in the same time frame and period as the existing homes in the neighborhood. The proposed site layout helps to provide additional parking. It improves current traffic flow and provides open green space at the intersection where the current site is paved. And that's this area right up here in the front that's kind of that darker green shade. This open area provides opportunities for landscaping, signage, or artist features to provide character to the neighborhood. We have also pulled the police department incident reports for the property to determine if there are any security issues that need to be addressed. And the reports appear to have dramatically decreased from previous years, with most of the recent calls being made by the property owner or employees, and they result around mental disorders, suspicious persons, or trespassing. The reports appear to be less than what would normally be anticipated for a typical retail location. As for timing, this is the first step in a long process. The earliest construction would probably start roughly 15 to 18 months if council were to approve. So I'll pause real quick here and give you guys an opportunity if you want to come up. They want you to speak into the microphone here. I'll let you come up one by one if you want to ask questions. We'll do that. Try to avoid repeating the same question or the same comment, but we'll be happy to spend a little time and go through and answer any questions you have. Yes, sir. Come on.
Yeah, my name is Oscar Wiggins. I live at 911 South First Street.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference if you planning on building the Taj Mahal in that area. We don't want it.
Right. Okay.
We have come down here time and time again. The answer is no today, will be no tomorrow. And technically, you're wasting our time by keep coming back when we're gonna say no. How often can you keep coming back asking us the same question? The question's gonna be, the answer's gonna be no matter how many times you come.
Yes, sir.
So that's all I have to say.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I want to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, my name is LaShawnia Richardson, and I live at 406 Ward Street.
Okay.
So, I do appreciate the entrepreneurial spirit of these fellows. But I do want to say that, when a store comes into our community, I expect the store to be a part of the community. This store has been there, run by these folks for several years, and they are not a part of our community. As an entrepreneur, there comes great responsibility with that. Being a part of the community as well as the town. I don't know that these folks are even a part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Also, in doing some research, there's only about a 30 to 50% markup of products on a retail store in North Carolina. This store has between a 70 to 80% markup of their products in their store. I don't really see how this would be a community grocery store when the majority of residents in our community are on a fixed income. So I don't really see what this store could contribute to our community.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And so I'll respond real quick. So, I mean, right now we have an existing store that's being operated and will continue to operate if this is denied. So ultimately, the owners want to do something nicer, but the store that they have limits what they can do as far as how the building looks. It's a center block building, and they're really challenged as being able to expand it or do anything different. So this would give them that opportunity to expand and do something nicer and different. But again, I mean, it's one of those where right now the store is existing, it's operating as it is right now, and I'm not saying that's the perfect word or the perfect answer, but right now we've got a store that doesn't look that great the way it's set up, and we have an owner who really wants to do something nice and tear that building down and build a new building. And ultimately, I think that's the challenge that we need to try to understand. And what I would like to understand from you guys is what makes, knowing that the store is going to continue to operate and continue to be there, why wouldn't we want something a little nicer in its place? Does that make sense?
Don't want it here.
Well, I understand.
Don't want the one that's there.
Right. But understand that one continues to operate and will continue to operate as long as people keep purchasing from it, right? So somebody's buying.
Yeah.
So ultimately trying to just, like I said, if you don't mind, she's getting up real quick, I'll let her. But just like I said, if you can help me understand that and maybe see if we can come to some conclusion on how to move forward with it. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Kathy Alston Kearney. I'm the pastor of Galatia AME Church at 320 Galatia Street. And the store has changed hands in the 3 years that I have been
Right.
back in the community. And it seems to me that it has gone downhill from where it was, even where it was previously. If the new owners intended for it to be a grocery store, what prevented them from beginning that venture now as opposed to a smoke shop?
Right.
You know, and that is a concern to me, that the extraction of wealth out of our community, as well as bringing, as you said, you know, somebody's buying the stuff.
Right.
Those are not the commodities that we need in our community.
Right.
That the majority of residents need. And we are concerned that if we continue on this track, you know, putting a prettier store but selling the same kinds of products doesn't help us.
Absolutely.
And with the markup, as Ms. Richardson said, it still doesn't help us.
Right.
You know, it's more cost effective to pay somebody $5 to take you to Food Line,
Right.
you know, or Piggly Wiggly. So what is the benefit to the community of having this thing here? And help me understand, sorry if I'm taking too much time,
No, you're
but help me understand how the traffic flow is improved.
So ultimately, right now, you're stuck kind of at the intersection, and there's 3 points of conflict that are right there in one spot. By shifting these driveways now are way up here, and by shifting those down, it helps provide that separation. And again, it's not a perfect scenario, but with the property and the shape that we have, it's really as good as it gets. And again, it is an improvement from what currently is there, just because it shifts and gives you a little more opportunity to recognize that someone's coming before you have to pull out.
Okay, from that facility.
That's right, from the existing, that's right.
I got you. Thank you.
So to answer one of your questions real quick, the reason they haven't done anything to date is size of the building. Just like we talked about, the current size of the building really limits what you can and can't do with that store. And so adding additional products or adding anything extra, just there's no room for it inside. So ultimately that's part of this new look. They want to add a coffee shop in with it. And again, part of it is just trying to change the whole concept of what they're trying to sell, but they have to have more space to be able to do that.
Is it trying to do a coffee shop, it's trying to do a game room?
A coffee shop is what I've been told, and we can limit game room if we need to. So council has the right to ask for conditions here because it is a conditional reuse. So if there were certain conditions that we didn't like, that's certainly something that council can place a condition on the property. We would not be allowed to do that.
So you said the store will be set it back further?
Yes, ma'am. It actually slides back a decent amount. The existing store sits right up here where my finger is. So it's sliding back roughly 70 feet from where it is now, just to push it away from the intersection.
So you
And
be
relative
flipping
to
it
the
back,
property
push the house behind.
It would move it closer to the house for sure, but it has to. But again, it kind of has to.
You wouldn't want that.
Well, at the end of the day, if I had nice landscaping that was better than what it is
Come
now.
on, man. Come on, be honest. You must be honest, right?
Well, I am.
Your house.
This
Walk out the door 2 feet.
this is kind of my take on it, and again, this is my position. I've been doing it 22 years, been in Nashville the whole time. So ultimately, I would rather have something nice and new at that location, regardless of where it is on the property with buffers, than to have an old store that's sitting there.
But you know convenience stores are people loiter.
Well,
You add more product, you got more people coming.
I would agree there's more people to come through the
Going
store.
to loiter.
Well, loitering is something that the owners can work with the police department to try to work through, but I hear what you're saying. Certainly, we want more people coming to the store because they need to sell more product, so. Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
my name is Alexandria. I live right across the street from the store. It's not more so a question, but a comment or concern. I understand we're putting a new outer shell. The inside is essentially going to be the same, other than whatever food products you're trying to put in there that are going to be marked up a lot higher than any grocery store. From me living across the street with this store, even before the owners now, I've had issues with trespassing. The foot traffic is ridiculous. They're disrespectful, and the police do nothing. They say that I have to have a name, I have to go to the courthouse, they have to actually see it happening, but they never sit there. They never help me, they do nothing.
Okay.
I get we want something nicer, but what is it being rezoned into a business zone gonna do for us as residents that own our homes in the area?
Yeah, if you could, do you mind pointing out where you're located?
Where is
And
the
that'll help
store?
me with the police
The store
department.
is here.
Yes, ma'am. Well, the existing store is right here in the corner.
I'm like right here. I'm
Okay.
810. I'm directly across the street from it.
Okay, and where are the people walking from
I
across the
mean,
property?
it's people that come from the store. They
Oh,
stand
they're
in-
just standing
They
there.
stand
I
in
got
front
you,
of
I
my
got you.
mailbox. Not even that. They come from the street behind me. They come through my yard. I mean, I've had to protect myself.
Right.
I've had to put myself in arms to get these people to stop, and they still don't, and the police do nothing.
Right.
So I understand we want something new, but in all honesty, it doesn't need to be there.
Amen.
Okay.
It's bringing people there that it's beer lottery machines. I mean, you're saying we need area for food and this, that, and the third, but we put 2 slot machines in there. So what is that? Like, we could have put a counter there for whatever food or whatever extra. I mean, we have off-brand stuff.
Right.
We don't have anything that's worth buying. But we have to deal with all the disrespectfulness and the stuff that comes from the store, whether it's in his hands or the people before it or the people after it. It's not going to change anything. It's just going to keep disturbing the whole community at this point. It's going to bring a bunch of people that does not need to be there, loitering, whatever it may be. I don't need it in front of my home. And the police, the people that own it, it doesn't change anything. And it's not going to change anything, and it never will if it's still there.
Okay.
And that's just all I have to say.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name's James Lynch. I live on Ward Street.
Yes, sir.
We're right across from this place. I've been there 55 years. And I've seen this place come down, and bringing the community down. Come out selling something, the cheap wine, cheap beer, vape, and cigarettes. That's their problem. There ain't no way in the world they can compete with a grocery store. Cause I know myself and nobody else around there with any decency ain't gonna carry no money up there. I know I won't spend a dime there. And the thing about it is where you live.
In Pine Tops.
Pine Top?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wish you lived right around there, then you see what we see. But you don't live there, you trying to make $1 off of this building. So you get your little money in your basket and go back to Pine Top, okay? But we gonna have to live with the problems that you leave. You know, right now, we have, in recent time, we have 5 people to get killed right in this neighborhood, right down that store. We got 1 or 2 ain't never been solved. Young lady found right down the street there, and I seen her back before that store. And, another young man, several of them got killed. I seen them trafficking in and out that store walking, you know?
Right.
So, in unsolved murders that we got, my wife, she lived there. We live right there. So again, so now I'm afraid to leave the house because something can happen to her. Because these guys we know killed somebody, they still wander around the street and they get up there and get refueled at that store.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth, I wish you had to live with it. You want to sell in your community.
Anyone else?
Yes, I'm Gertrude Foster, and my mom stay in 414 Ward Street. And not only that, it's a traffic, but it's litter. You know, we pick up every 3 months or whatever, and right around this store is really a lot of trash around there. People come in and, you know, they just drop trash and also, so that make our neighborhood look bad also.
Right.
So to keep that out, I don't think that we should have to put up with that.
I understand, and in all fairness, every commercial facility deals with it, every Dollar General on the corner of the county
I
deals with the
understand
same
that,
thing.
but
And,
but it's the point is with that's a small store,
It is.
and like you said, the markup. But those that go there, I wouldn't go there because of the price. The price is high,
Right.
and I feel like I can get better quality.
True.
That's what I feel.
Anyone else, real quick?
My name is Jacqueline Rogers, and I have been in Nashville all my life, besides years of course, college, military. But as a heir property owner, my parents and the other, those of us that are in here now, we're of a certain age range. Our parents prepared a way for us. They worked hard to get property, to have something nice, something decent to pass on, and we in turn will maybe like to pass it on to our grand.
True.
And the store has been there for many, many years. As a matter of fact, back in the 50s, my father and his brothers ran that little store. But why should it be commercialized any more than what it is? If it's working now, why not just leave it alone? I'm gonna be honest, maybe it'll phase out eventually, who knows? But as far as grocery and coffee and things of that nature, we have Piggly Wiggly, we have Walmart, we have Food Line, we have the National Exchange for coffee. We have so many different places to go and buy coffee. Plus, everyone has coffee at home.
True.
So why commercialize that little area right there? And this is a residential neighborhood. It doesn't make sense to go in and commercialize. And as far as the property owners of the store, that's fine. I mean, I support dreams. Everybody has a dream. But you have to make that dream work. You have to have it somewhere where it will be beneficial for everyone to make it work.
Right.
That's pretty much what I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Terry Body Clark. I am heirs to the property at 407 Baker Street and 411 Baker Street. My concern also is the traffic. And now we are saying that we're gonna, if the store is built, we're gonna pull it back some. I am related to the property owners behind the store. And she doesn't know this, but I will let her know when I talk to her this afternoon. It would be at her back on the side of her house. We almost had a bad accident today on Baker Street, coming out of Baker Street because of the traffic flow. And during school time, and and I know that doesn't have anything to do with the store, but they're getting ready to build over 200 apartments behind W.L. Green School. So we know that the traffic is gonna be more, off of 58 and coming from W.L. Green School. To move that store back, make it bigger, the traffic is gonna be congested. Again, if I had a parent or a relative that would get in an accident, a bad accident, killed on coming off of Baker Street, I would be upset. We do not need anything larger. If we want a pretty store like you have presented here, take it down to the crossroad by Nash Central Middle. That's a growing development. You got all the land out there for sale. Take it down that way, but not right here in our neighborhood.
Give me from my voice. I've had to do a lot of talking the last 2 weeks. I'm concerned about the property, and I'm a representative for the property at 821 South Break Street right now from the store. Okay. My primary concern is the attractiveness of the people who will come to the store. The store is likely to draw what I consider as people who are just roamers and just hangout type people. And we see a lot of that. I'm in that area a lot at night, late at night, after 11 and 12 a lot. I see people who I don't even know, and I see them come from behind the store and go across over to Baker Street area. And I saw a young man over that way a few days before they found the last deceased person over behind the school. And I saw that person over there about 11 something at night. And we're also concerned about the topography, the land, where it's going to be situated. We're afraid that the way they're going to construct the parking lot, the topography is going to change. It's going to cause us to suffer from non-gradient procedures that will prevent us from having unnecessary water flow and create a lot of segmentation and erosion that would affect our housing that's there.
Right.
So topography is important. And we're also concerned about aesthetics. You see what they have there now, it doesn't look like nothing. So what would make us think they're gonna put something there that's gonna beautify our community? No, they're not gonna do that. I don't wanna sound prejudiced, but I believe these folks are the same crowd that have all these smoke shops throughout the city of Rocky Mount and other places here in the county now. And those stores draw people who you wouldn't want to even come near you or your children. And it has an effect to the point where it actually creates the mindset for people who are in the area that are young, that there's nothing wrong with being one who decides to become a criminal and present criminal behavior. But we don't need any more criminal behavior. We have a lot of crime that's not even talked about that comes through that area. And as the young lady said, police doesn't do anything. I mean, I'm not knocking the police, but I know they're not down there and not patrolling the way they should because I'm there late at night. And we want our community to remain a good place to live because we plan to leave it for our nieces, nephews, and grandchildren and great grands. But we can't do that if we got these people come in who are going to create a business. This might cause people to decide to move out, run away from our town. We love our town just as good as the other citizens do.
Right.
Perhaps even better.
Right.
Because we came to this town during the time where we were not wanted. We were not wanted, especially in that section. So we want the best, and the best is not going to develop because of the occurrence of a construction site called, whatever the store is called. We just can't, we don't want that. And I'm here with these people because these are my people. And as the great Muhammad Ali says, I love my people. So I'm here. because we have interest in everything too in this country. People think we don't have interest in things. People think we are nothing. We are somebody of value also. So we would like for you to discourage these people. I know they're hard,
Sure.
but discourage these folks to not continue what they think is an American dream. I say that because they really think it's an American dream that's going to advance them, but it's, at the same time, it's going to cripple our community. It's going to leave us in a negative situation. And we can't live like that. We're not going to live like that.
Right. We're
We're going to keep coming, as Brother Wiggins said, we're going to keep coming back and back again.
Sure.
You come 100 more times, we're going to come.
And look, I appreciate it. I like the input.
And if I'm not here, all these folks gonna be here.
Sure.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because we love our community and we want to make it a fabulous place.
Right.
It has always been a good place to live.
Absolutely.
As I said, when most of us came there, nobody wanted us there.
Right.
So we earned the right to protect our community. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Just to address the stormwater real quick, I mean, obviously you have some other good points, but on the stormwater and erosion control side, the town of Nashville has a stormwater ordinance that we have to meet. We certainly can't cause any damage to adjacent properties or flood anything downstream. So because we're so close to DOT roads, DOT will be involved as well. And so ultimately from the stormwater and erosion control standpoint, there are policies and things in place that will take care of that, so. Anything else that, yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Lucas. I'm from Rocky Mount, but my dad's best friend was Raymond Harrison, and he had a house. You could probably on your thing right, you could probably see where his house would be back over here.
Right.
And I guess as a 9-year-old, I set that field on fire here in Nashville, and so I do remember. You know, we spent every Sunday, every Saturday. Right. I'm looking at you this picture. I grew up. That's the part of Nashville I knew about.
Right.
And, you know, my cousins live on the other side of AJ and all them live on the other side of Mr. Harrison. And they're at 60 years old. When I come back, we kind of want to remember how it used to be. Like when I was 10 years old or 11 or 9. And I think that's what you guys are going to, you know, I see you got stocks, you got to do some social engineering here because, you know, it's not going to be rational. You're not going to be able to figure it out on paper. It has a feeling, a certain meaning to it.
Right.
And so the community is going to have to feel that. I know what they're saying. I can kind of feel it because I know how all those memories. But I just moved back and I went down that street the other day. And I was like, this ain't what it was when I was a little kid. So I'm kind of outside. I don't live in there right now, so I don't know any about the drug selling I don't know any of that experience. But I can tell you what they remember. How it used to be when I was a little kid. And somehow, if y'all can socially engineer that, it seems like everybody can meet in the middle on that. But you're not going to find that kind of contract in any kind of business manual. Sure. It's going to have to be outside the box. And you're going to it's a lot of things, a lot of capital, you know, on the community capital side, like you're going to earn capital.
Right.
Does that make sense for you guys?
No, it does. And so just to kind of give you a little bit of background, one, I've been in Nashville engineering for 23 years. So this is really the only place that I've ever designed and engineered in and watched it grow from around 3,000 people to what it is today. And so I've been here a while. I've come to a lot.
Have you worked on any buildings in that community?
I have.
Which one?
Cornerstone Funeral Home we did. The church that we did up the street, all of Birchwood we designed. So we've done a lot for the
Y'all know about those?
for the town. The answer is yes. We've obviously been all around town. I've been here a long time, but that was kind of the goal with this. I mean, so we were trying to come up with something that one just looked like it was supposed to be there, not a store that was a modern store that may look great on the side of Washington Street, but something that looked like it was actually designed and built at the same time the houses were built. So
Why do you think that corner needs a market and a cafe?
well, ultimately, there's one there already. I mean, so let's start with there's already one there that's operating and will continue to operate.
Cafe?
Well, not the cafe, but the actual store itself. So the cafe is something that will add additional income and provide really something that the property owners wanted to add to it.
But what would it add to the community?
Well, it provides coffee at a closer location. And again, I don't drink coffee, so I can't say a whole lot about it. I think my kids are crazy for buying Starbucks and Dunkin' coffee, but ultimately there are a lot of people that do. And
So why would that corner need a market then?
well, again, the same concept is the reason Dollar General's go in every corner. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where the closer it is to people, some people will go use it now. Some may bypass it and go to Lowe's and Piggly Wiggly and buy something cheaper.
Have y'all ever done like, would you consider that area like a food desert?
I wouldn't consider it necessarily a food desert, but there's no food on that side of town. I mean, you would have to come all the way to town
I
to
don't
do
know
it.
off the top of my head I just know certain areas are so far from fresh food and stuff. That's something you would
Yeah, so
look into?
ultimately, from a walkability standpoint, the town's really big on pedestrian access and being able to walk to all of your facilities. This is a long ways from any other gas station or food. So ultimately, this would be a spot that if you were looking throughout town, would be a location that would make the most sense to do that. And I have been on the pedestrian committee for the town. But I mean, ultimately, that would be something if you think about where you would actually walk if you didn't drive, what the closest store would be. And it's a long ways away. Yes, sir.
Well, in a good faith, I see you're trying to show good faith effort, right?
We're trying.
It's trying to
We
show good
understand
faith.
the community doesn't
Yeah.
like it, and we're really trying. So I hope
Well,
you see
could-
that.
How about like something like maybe as a good faith effort, maybe that store owner would stop selling alcohol now, today, just to prove to the neighborhood, I'm just trying, it doesn't mean anything, but hey, I quit selling alcohol today. If y'all would just start considering,
Right.
let me make the community better. I would stop selling alcohol today.
And I think that's something we can talk to going about. I think that's something when we go to council, they can make that a condition of it.
Would that be something that you
No,
like to see?
If they stop selling alcohol, that's gonna go down today.
If they stop.
That's the biggest seller. Beer, wine, vape.
But see, the way, if this guy wants to be in business from selling alcohol, he's never gonna win, because y'all don't want that. So if
No,
he
we
can't
don't
make it
want-
work without
because
alcohol.
It is, I've known minors to go by, people like you and me go by and give it to minors. We don't want it.
No, but I'm just saying, wouldn't it make sense that if they're really trying to do something for the community, the first thing would say, we ain't gonna sell no more alcohol.
First thing you do is, if you join the community, live in the community.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, in my opinion.
So we had to buy a house in the community
You can't
first, huh?
say, you can't say you for the community, you stay 50 miles away now.
I understand that. I'm
can't say that.
not taking it. I'm just trying to say what kind of things
And you
can
say,
somebody like
you,
us do.
well, you say you don't live here, right?
I live in Nashville.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So, we don't, my point, the outside people ain't got nothing to do with the inside business. You don't care. Cause you come through here, buy you some beer, wine, and get out of town, or either spread it out from in the community.
So if we didn't have beer no more or wine, those people wouldn't come through, would they?
I know, but that's the biggest seller.
Yeah,
Quit
they ain't
selling
gonna
that.
stop it. That's the biggest seller.
I know. I'm just saying, if you're really trying to prove something, you're gonna have to do something big.
You know,
If you're trying to prove
going
something.
Big thing
Going
is
back
now,
for a minute, right?
it's showing up here
Yeah,
tonight.
this is huge, right?
Yeah, and this the tip of the iceberg. When we have the meeting with the councilmen and planning zone, we done swell the walls out.
So just remember to try to keep the conversation amongst the public, just try to make sure we entertain questions to the developers represented today, please. Thank y'all.
It's okay.
Okay. I live on 415 Ward Street. I've been there for 51 years. I've seen my kids grow up. Now I'm seeing my grandkids grow up down that street, okay? Now the biggest problem I had, one day I got off work. I worked Masonite. I stopped by the convenience store. I was gonna get me a pack of cigarettes. So when I stopped there, I walked in there, this little 9-year-old boy buying a 12-pack of beer, okay? So I asked him, I said, man, what you doing selling this guy this beer? His mama's sick. I said, what that got to do with it? She can't come to the store, she's sick. Now you selling this child this alcohol. Knowing daggone well mama's sick, he shouldn't even buy it. So I called the police. So I called and told them about what the situation. And pretty much like she said, they ain't gonna do nothing. I got to do all the leg work.
Right.
Now I done told you what done happened at that store.
Right.
Now what's wrong with you going here and putting somebody in there and try to find out what's going on, but they don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What year was that?
It's been a while.
So, I mean, and again, not that it's gonna change a whole lot, but we do have different owners now. So
Right, you do.
The police department, I pulled all the records, there were a lot of issues around 10 years ago. A lot of issues. And then it really got better around 2 years ago, and ultimately it kind of correlates with the new
But they
owners.
still hang out there, man. And then there ain't no doubt about it. This ain't gonna be nothing but a place where they can put them daggone slot machines in there. You can talk about coffee all you want to, but that's what it's gonna end up being, okay? They see it coming, they already see the situation, you got new parking coming in there, they looking at money. And they gonna get this stuff and they going right back to their neighborhood. They gonna leave us to deal with it. You go by W.L. Green School now, looking at ditch, you ain't got nothing but beer cans all lined up there.
Right.
You understand? We gonna pick it up in the next week or two, okay? Cause we got trash pickup. But normally we don't go down that way, but I done seen all this beer can there. I got to get it.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But that's my neighborhood.
I understand.
Okay.
Now, just asking the question, how far out would you consider your neighborhood? Would it stop at Ward Street?
It goes back to Ward Street.
Or does it go, does it include Cardinal Woods?
It goes all out there.
Does it include Cardinal Woods as well, the new neighborhood? Okay. Would it surprise you if the owners lived in Cardinal Woods?
We ain't gonna do where they live at. I live right
But
off
you
the
just
store.
said, but you're just saying you want them to live in your neighborhood, and they do live here.
What they
So,
live?
Cardinal Woods.
Let me say one thing.
That Cardinal Woods is not a part of our neighborhood.
Well, that's what I was asking, but we just said it was, and it's right there. They obviously pass this location every day. But I understand, so it stops at Ward Street would be the neighborhood.
No, don't stop at Ward. I live on First Street, okay? I can see the store from my house. The foot traffic, people walking by that I ain't never seen in my life, don't speak, act like they, I don't know where they come from, all I know they act like to me they undesirable people. I mean, one of those mouth speaking, you speak to them.
Right.
But I ain't scared to live there, cause I built my house and I'll die there.
Right.
I ain't worried about those folks, but we don't want them in the neighborhood. And this subject has come to a different aspect for me. It's a little bit different because we have been out here over and over and over again talking about this stuff. Ain't nobody in here's mind gonna change about none of the issues that we have discussed. If you get anybody down here that's gonna vote yes, it's gonna be a renter.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna find a property owner that's gonna never say yes to this project. And it's got to the point now where it's almost getting to be a little bit annoying to me to keep talking to people about the same thing. Because when I tell my children no, it means no. It's got to the point where you was actually testing my intelligence. Because I'm saying no, why you keep asking us the same thing when we keep saying no, 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 it ain't gonna change.
Right.
So why keep playing with our intelligence? We know what we want and what we don't want, and it ain't gonna never change.
Right.
If it was up to me, that store wouldn't even be down there, period. If I had the money, I'd buy it and tear it down. But we don't want it, so I don't care no matter how long we talk about this issue, it ain't gonna change. These people ain't gonna change their minds about that store, and I live right up under that store.
Right.
I get tired of traffic walking by. People getting killed, unsolved murders, like he said, and all. And people that live on down the road down there in the other section, they don't have to deal with this traffic. We that run around that store are the ones that suffer from all this hoodlums and traffic. We the ones that's got to suffer, not you way down the road.
Right.
Let me ask you a quick, where is Cardinal Woods? Where is that?
It's right behind the school. So right behind the school, Nash Central Middle.
That's at the middle school.
Yeah. So right behind the park.
That's a half a mile.
It's a half a mile. You're right. That's why I was trying.
That's a big difference.
But it is, and that's why I was trying to figure out exactly when you say this area, they don't live in this area, what that would include. So,
Why not buy property in the Cardinal Woods area out
And build a store.
and build a store out there? If there's nothing out there, I say.
well, largely because the store sits here already. There's already a B1 zoning. So I mean, there's obviously there's already a commercial piece here.
But if it
So that's
can't
why.
be progressive, then it's sitting there, it's not gonna do any more than what it's doing.
Right.
It's not progressive for the community.
We're
We're
But
here
hey,
in
guys,
Nashville.
if Sean's gonna have a fit, come back up here again, and if we can talk in the microphone. There are a lot of people that couldn't make it to the meeting that want to listen, so I hate for them to miss out. They don't want to hear me talking the whole
We're
time.
here within the city limits of Nashville. We have access, like I said, to grocery stores, coffee and everything. And if you're talking about dry areas or deserts, there's nothing out there. Why not put something out in that area so people don't have the necessary drive?
Right.
That's like saying that we don't look out for our elders or people that don't drive, because we do.
Right.
If they need to go to the grocery store or wherever, we take them. Even if we're not related, we are a community. We are a family. We look out for each other.
Sure.
And as far as markup prices, why would you spend X amount of dollars when you can go get someone to take you, either go right up the street to buy something decent? If you want to spend, buy name brand, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. But in a residential area, it makes no sense to do. And I'm sure the building would be beautiful. I'm sure. And no one's knocking the entrepreneurship. No one's knocking that at all. We just don't want it in our area.
Right. Well, guys, we're getting close to our time, but go ahead.
I appreciate everybody here, because most of these people I talked to them face to face, invited them in. A lot of them, people couldn't show up because of the hour, it started 5 o'clock. But these stores, they prey on black community. And I wish, and a lot of blacks do pull together. I wish we would pull together, boycott their store, don't spend a dime. That'll drive my community.
That's exactly right.
I sure hope, and that'll be my next mission.
I guess.
Try to talk to everybody, don't spend a dime up there.
I guess.
I had one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure, I asked my neighbors when I came in, but if it's rezoning, you want to rezone for businesses?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
So-
business, that's
For
right.
business.
Mhm.
So if it's rezoned for business, does that not open up a can of worms for the whole neighborhood?
It does not. So we actually rezoned it to B1 conditional use. And what that conditional use does is it limits it to whatever we put on that application, which in this case is this layout. So it has to be this layout, it has to be a convenience store, and it cannot be anything else based on how we rezoned it. Now, if it was a general rezoning to B1, then you're right. Everything that Ace Hardware could go there, grocery store, whatever. In this case, we specifically limited it to just this use.
So
Need to get it right.
I have another
Why did you
question.
do
I
that?
have a question.
For this very reason, I mean, one is, it was already a convenience store. So again, we were expanding the convenience store. We're not asking for anything else. And we knew it would be a concern if it was another
a
business.
residential lot that you get ready to build don't rezone that.
That's right, that's right. Mhm.
But that don't have to happen.
That's exactly right.
Right. And I hope we get enough people up here when we come to the planning zone and the council, they fade it out.
Right.
So have y'all already did what you already made plans already?
No. So right now, we've got a layout just like this, so we have to do that stuff for DOT and others to get input on. One, we wanted you to kind of see the concept, but no, we have not gone forward with any of that. Hold on. Yes, ma'am.
So the owners are not saying that they will not put gaming machines in the store.
No, so I can certainly ask them that question, and that can be a condition.
They already have two in there.
That's
Right, I know they already have
But
two in
if the
there.
community asked to get rid of those, I mean, I can certainly ask if that was something they'd be willing to do. And again, what would happen, to guarantee it, is it would be a condition of the rezoning. And so if it were rezoned, then the town could go into the store and they would be under zoning violation and be fined if they find they have a gaming machine in the store, if that were the case.
Okay.
So there's ways, by the way we did it and the way we did this rezoning, it gives council the ability to put conditions on it to really tighten down their ability to do different things.
This is enough, baby, I shut my mouth out today. On the planning board, Ross Strickland, he asked the gentleman that owned the store, he said, y'all sell vapes? No. Big Simon didn't want to sell vape. Just stood right there and told a lie right there.
I got it.
So if you tell one lie, he'll tell another.
I hear what you're saying, and at the next meeting, it'll be me, and hopefully, those in the community who have known me for 23 years will know that I do my best to tell the truth. So if I'm asked if something's done, I'm either gonna know it and tell the truth,
Right.
or I'll say, I have no idea.
Because
So,
I'm not afraid, if you tell a lie, I'll call you out on it.
if I ever tell a lie, you can call me out on it. All right. Guys, if you would, if you have not signed in, just make sure you sign in so that we have a record of who was here. And like I said, I think you guys have my contact information at the office. If you have any questions after this, feel free to reach out to me, email me, or call me, okay?
When does this go before council?
It'll go for planning board next, and Sean, that meeting is,
That meeting will be on March the,
and while he's pulling it up, you'll get a letter as well. So everyone that got a letter here tonight will also get a letter from the planning board.
that meeting will be March 24th. The letter you already got in the mail with the community flyer also had the dates for the planning board and the town council. March 24th, we'll go before the planning board. May the 5th, it will go before town council.
And what are the times on those?
For the planning board meeting, it'll be right back here at 6:30, well, 6 o'clock for planning board. For the town council, May the 5th, will be right back here at 7 p.m. Yeah. Yes,
I
sir.
have one question. How often can you bring the same subject back and forth to the planning board? Every week, every month? Once I say no, it ain't no time frame before you can come back and ask me the same question again?
It got denied 2 years ago, so you have a year cool down period that you have
It
to
wasn't 2
wait.
years ago we were
But
down here.
the one that happened a few months ago,
Yeah.
that one they withdrew. So when you withdraw the application as an applicant, you didn't get the denial, you just said you pulled your application out.
So you get started over again.
Pretty much. But if it goes all the way through the process and you get denied from town council, then you gotta go through that cool down period and you can't apply for at least a year.
And understand the current process, the way it's set up, there's 3 meetings that you have to come to. So this is the neighborhood meeting that we're having tonight. There'll be a planning board meeting and then a council meeting. So just for one application, there's 3 meetings that have to be attended. So ultimately, if you have one that kind of starts and gets pulled, obviously that's doubling up the meetings. But hopefully, like I said, our goal was to try to bring back a plan that looked better than the plan was last time. That's why it was pulled. And I understand you guys still don't want it. But that was the goal of just trying to rethink, regroup, and come up with something that may fit a little better. So.
I have a question for you, Mr. Lucas.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that right, Lucas?
Yes, ma'am.
If the conditional rezoning was approved, when it changes hands, would that remain intact, or could a new owner
It does.
then?
Once the zoning stays with the land, so if it gets approved conditional rezoning B1, it stays with this owner. That if they want to sell it to me the next day, I take over as the owner of the conditional zone. It stays with the land use. With
And
the
all the
land.
conditions still apply.
Right, but
None
everything
of
still
those
applies that the council puts on it, and the planning board and town staff.
But they could come and ask for something else.
Right, but once again, with conditional rezoning, you can always come back and amend it and ask for something else.
Right.
All right. Thank you, guys.